morning with our office has been in touch with Homeland Security Director, with Charlie McKenna. He is convening a video conference of all 21 county Homeland Security Directors today. We have put our folks on a state of higher alert so that they can be ready for any attempted retaliation that may occur because of our government's action in killing Osama bin Laden. And so our Homeland Security Director is on top of the situation, been on top of it, consulted with him last night for the first time at about 10:15 to let him know what I knew about the situation and to get him going in terms of making sure that our Homeland Security apparatus here in New Jersey was appropriately in place and was on the right level of alert. At the same time, I advised the Senate President last night as well, a little bit after that, a little bit after 10:15 last night, of what was going on and what steps we were taking in terms of our actions to make sure that we were going to be protecting the people of New Jersey from any attempted retaliation for what happened. As for the killing of bin Laden, some of you will recall, I was nominated to the United States Attorney by President Bush on September 10th, 2001. And the job that I accepted that day from the President became significantly different about 18 hours later. And for me, it was also extraordinarily personal. My wife was 2 blocks from the Trade Center when the attack occurred. She had come through the Trade Center that morning with my brother, who was working down at the New York Stock Exchange at the time. Both of them had to go through escaping from Manhattan that day after the attacks, after the buildings had come down. And so this was not only professional for me in terms of taking over as the state's chief federal law enforcement officer in the immediate aftermath of that attack, but also personal as well, given the experiences and the fortunate experiences of both my wife and my brother being in Lower Manhattan that day. And so I think there's an extraordinary sense of closure for a lot of people that the person who masterminded and ordered these attacks that killed 3,000 of our citizens has now been brought to justice himself. And I can't think of anything better for Osama bin Laden than to have met his end at the hands of the American military and to be buried at sea. It's exactly where he belongs. Listen, I have absolutely no idea what went into the decision making except for what I've read, which is there are certain religious requirements from what I understand in terms of the burial of the body. And from what I read this morning, it was offered to the Saudi government first and that they refused it. So, I'm certainly not going to sit here and second guess the President of the United States and our military in terms of the decisions that they made. I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that the President would get up last night and tell the world that Osama bin Laden's dead unless Osama bin Laden's dead. And so, I have complete confidence in the President's statements, and unless proven otherwise, complete confidence in his judgment on how they move forward with this. We're not going to sit here behind this podium in Trent and second guess what the President of the United States is doing in Washington. And that's why I said last night in my statement that I commend him and his administration. If you read the stories of the extraordinary work that went into this operation, the intelligence portion of it and then the execution of it, the President, as the Commander-in-Chief, deserves extraordinary credit for what he was able to do here. And I commend him for it because these decisions are never easy. They always look easy in retrospect. When you're the person sitting in the chair having to make some of these calls, you recognize that these are really difficult decisions to make. He's putting men and women in harm's way, and just as well as things went, they could have gone poorly. And then there would have been a whole chorus of second guessers out there who would have been second guessing the President's judgment in every step along the way. So if they're going to do that, then when it goes real well, like it did for our country last night, then the man in charge deserves the credit, and the President deserves the credit for doing really an extraordinary job. To the families and friends of those who perished on that day, nothing's going to bring their loved one back. And vengeance at times is a difficult thing. Jim, you may think that seeing bin Laden dead will make you feel better, and in some respect it gives us all, I think, a sense of justice being done. But I think what the families will be left with is the idea that their loved one is still gone. And I don't know how they deal with that from day to day. I think only if you walk in their shoes do you know how they deal with it. So what I'd say to those families today is that our prayers and our thoughts are with you today in just the same way they've been with those families every day for nearly the last 10 years. All of us, I suspect, in this room know someone who lost someone dear to them on September 11th. I know Mary Pat and I have, unfortunately, a number of friends whose children are now without a father, who go to school with our children, a member of our parish who was killed that day, a number of people who were very close in our lives. We had daily contact with some of them. Those families have never been the same. And the fact that Osama bin Laden is now dead will not restore to them the presence of a father or a mother, or a sister or a brother, husband or a wife. It won't do that. But this is someone who deserved to meet this fate much sooner than he did. But in this instance, justice delayed is not justice denied. Justice has been done. The President deserves great credit for that. And I hope that the families today, at least for a short period of time, could feel some measure of solace about the fact that the man who perpetrated these crimes is now sitting at the bottom of the sea somewhere.